All right, so this is where we're heading. These other types of goods that aren't exactly private goods and they're not exactly public goods, they're kind of somewhere in between. So the two that we just saw with football game and college education, these are called club goods, right? Because they are non-rival, right? You can watch the football game and other people can also watch the football game at the same time, so that it's non-rival, but it is excludable, right? You can be kept from entering the football stadium and watching the game. Another example would be satellite television or any type of cable television, same thing. The other one that we haven't really seen yet is called a common resource good. And these are rival but non-excludable. Okay, so you can't be excluded from consuming it if you don't pay for it. But if you do consume it, it means that others can't. So you see, it looks like a grandfather fishing with his grandson. So this is referring to basically things like public lakes and fishing ponds where anyone can go and fish from the pond, but anytime someone catches a fish, it means that that fish cannot be caught by anyone else. So it is rival, but it's non-excludable. So what type of good is this beach? Okay, this is kind of a trick question. Take a look at this beach, right? Think about whether it's rival. Think about whether it's excludable, okay? So, of course, this is a public beach, so it's non-excludable. But man, is it non-rival too? There's not a lot of space there, right, for anyone else to enjoy this beach. So as it turns out, although this is a public beach, it's at this point, because it's so congested, it's not exactly a public good anymore. It's becoming rival. So these types of goods we're talking about can actually kind of, there's some, what's the word? There's some sort of morphability, right? They can morph to some degree. So when this beach is, for the most part, empty or there's relatively few people there, it's more like a public good because it's non-excludable, and since it's mostly empty, it's also non-rival. But when it becomes congested like this, it's becoming more and more rival, right? There's less and less space, right? So at this point, it's hard for additional people to enjoy it. So it's more like a rival good than a non-rival good. And what type is a non-excludable but rival good? We just saw that. That's a common resource good. So this beach, this congested beach, is looking like a common resource good.